Before meeting you, I was 18, turning 19. I had just started university for the Christmas break, and I remember sitting my whole family down and was like, guys, I'm going to start a business.
Wow. How much did the client pay for your first deal?
For my first deal, I was able to close £3,500.
Wow. Quite literally, like, this is the only property method that can be done completely remotely from your university room, from your house, from wherever.
There was this piece of advice that I heard. You can either pay for your learning or you can pay for your mistakes.
So guys, I am with my wonderful student, Gabriel. Say hi.
Hi guys, nice meeting you.
I want to know from you, where were you before you started your business in remote property, and what kind of were like the main factors that made you decide that, yeah, you know what, I want to make an income online through property specifically?
Before meeting you, I was 18, turning 19. I had just started university, my undergraduate degree in aerospace engineering. Life is sweet. We've got our A-levels, 2 A-stars and an A. We're moving forward. But what really sparked my interest is understanding, what do I want to get out of this uni experience? What do I want to achieve? What are my goals in the future? And for me, it has never just been uni, then 9 to 5. It was always so much more. And as much as I love my degree and I believe it will take me places, I understood I also need to start something as well, not on the side, but something proper, a business, to kind of help me get to those goals that I want to achieve later in life.
Amazing stuff. So you actually are one of our youngest mentees. So we have like a limit, like starting minimum aged 18. And you've actually gone on to sell a few deals. And we're going to talk about that throughout this process, throughout this interview together. But I want to know, like, what kind of sets you apart from your peers? Because being so young and thinking about like property and getting into real estate, like, was anyone in your corner with that, or were you quite like an outlier in your kind of friendship group doing something like that?
So yes and no. When I say yes, I did have someone in my corner. I had a friend who had actually, funny enough, at the time started his own property business.
Amazing.
Linked up with someone he found online, another mentor, and he had been doing it for quite a few months and no progress at the time. However, when I had just got up to Manchester while I was studying, we met up. It had just kicked off for him.
Amazing.
So he just acquired a unit, he was closing some deals, and for me that sparked a lot of interest. And of course, when initially wanting to find out what route should I go down, should I get a mentor, should I make mistakes, should I just pay for the training, should I start my own company first, should I, like, when I had all of these questions, he was there to help guide it all. And when I say no, is because, you know, I'm African, I'm Nigerian.
Yeah, same. I'm Nigerian as well, period.
So, you know, the parents, they were a lot skeptical with things like this. But I remember it was a Christmas dinner. I came home after uni, for the Christmas break. And I remember sitting my whole family down and was like, guys, I'm going to start a business.
Wow.
Yeah, like, it was amazing. And I don't think I'd ever been so sure or had spoken to my parents and my siblings with such vim before.
Wow.
But I was certain on it, and I said I'll make it happen. It might not be in a month's time or two, but it will happen.
No, that's amazing. And I love that. You remind me so much of myself as well, because I actually started my property deal sourcing business completely remotely from my university room. Like, and I think that's a really big similarity that we both had. Like, we were both really keen to get started at a young age. And it's just so inspiring to see you kind of like take those footsteps too and like smash it, which leads us on to like my most interesting question that of course everybody wants to know. Can you tell us, first of all, how much did the client pay for your first deal? And like, can you talk us through that process as well?
Yeah, I can. But I just wanted to piggyback off what you just said. One of the main reasons why I actually chose to go with you, and not even because I explained, I had a friend that had done mentoring, I was seeing progress, is because your story related so much with my current situation. And it was like, how much more a person who is currently thriving and doing exactly what I want to do at the age where I'm at now, if that makes sense. And that was my main telltale sign, if that makes sense. But going on to your question, for my first deal, I was able to close £3,500.
Wow. 3,500. Guys, the sourcing fee average in the UK is 3,000. He managed to negotiate an extra 500, 3.5k. Like, I don't know about you guys who are watching, but when I was applying for 9 to 5s, they would be happily giving me 3k for the whole month, like day in, day out, shift work, day in, day out, the same thing. But you got paid that on one deal. Let me not even interrupt you. Go ahead. Tell us the rest of it.
Yeah, it was amazing. And like you said, the average is 3k. However, call me cheeky or what it was, I had a direct investor. And when you do, it's like you have a bit more control over the deal. It's just you finding the deal. Whereas sometimes you have a deal, it's packaged, it's amazing, but no one wants to take it on. So when I had that investor in my corner, someone who trusted me, who was willing to work. Funny enough, I'd reached out to them few months back and they randomly messaged me back again. So me already seeing I coming from a position of, you know what, they trust me. They came back to me. They remembered me. I said, we can push this over the line. Exactly.
We can make this work. We can make some arrangements.
Exactly. And coming from that point of view, of course, I explained why this extra fee was about, what I offer, what makes me different. Despite this being my first deal, I was very confident because I had gone through many deals where it was very close. Things fell through last minute. So with all of the disappointments, with all the no's I had experienced, I just saw it as God preparing me for when that time was ready to know exactly what to say, how to handle people, how to deal with people, how to maneuver, if that makes sense. And so that's why I was able to hit it with confidence. That's why I was able to state my fee and be firm on it. Why? Because I knew the value I could add and give. And so how I went about it is I took a deposit, a fully refundable deposit, just to make that clear. That was an agreement to say that from this point onwards, in the next 6 weeks time, we will have you a deal in your property. That's something I also had in place to keep me accountable, but also to vet the investors, to ensure that they're not wasting their time and I'm not wasting their time as well, if that makes sense. So when your money is there, we understand there's a level of commitment. And so once we got the deal over the line, the whole reason why I was able to pocket the whole sourcing fees, because I also sourced the deal. And like I said, it was this process, this ongoing process for months of learning how to speak to the landlord, learning how to liaise with other deal sources. All of this put me in a position where I was able to source this deal for myself. I spoke with the agent, they got in touch with the landlord, all of that got sorted. I collected the remaining £2,000 for the sourcing fee upon the completion of the deal.
Wow. No, that is so amazing. And like, again, I'm so proud of you. I'm just so proud of you because I just see so much of myself in you and like, you're so hungry for it. Like I can always see you on our community group chat, like posting, hey guys, like I've got deals here, like we can actually make something work. And like for you to have actually sourced this one yourself. In fact, I have 2 questions for you, but I'm going to start with this one. For those who are watching who might not know what deal sourcing is and how it can actually be done completely remotely, can you explain to someone in your own words, like what is remote property deal sourcing in a nutshell?
I would say it's an opportunity to get you into the property ladder for as little upfront cost as possible, if that makes sense. It's an opportunity for you to source. And when we say source, we mean find profitable deals that investors, so people that are ready to get onto, for what I'm doing specifically, the service accommodation ladder, to help start up their Airbnb business.
Yeah.
And this whole process is you being the middleman. You helping to either find deals or liaise with other deal sources to help close deals.
Yeah.
And from that, you pick up the fee. You get the fee for the job that you do, which is to find, spend time, do the numbers, make sure things make sense, and make sure that not only you are happy, not only is the landlord happy, but your investor happy as well.
Fantastic. So would you say that this is something that, like, because you're a uni student or you've pretty much just got your graduation coming soon anywho, but like, is this something that you would say requires like really deep property skills, or are you basically just doing very basic admin? You're speaking to landlords, you're, you know, looking at properties online, pairing them together, bada bing, bada boom, and you quite literally just get paid for the connection once they successfully go for the house that you found?
You're not doing anything crazy.
Exactly.
And a lot of the things I picked up, of course, before finding Utenu, I was there on YouTube searching. I had a lot of information. I didn't feel like I had to learn something crazy new because it was all entry level. But what helped me is understanding now I'm connected to a network of individuals that can help further this deal sourcing. So really, when I saw this mentorship, it wasn't just I'm paying for information or I'm looking for a mentor. It's more so I'm looking for a pre-established community that I can just piggyback off. And that's exactly what it is. When you pitch yourself in a position where you're ready to learn, ready to connect, you will see it's just people skills. It's just speaking to people. And that's what will land it all.
Amazing.
Exactly.
No, that was so good. I'm just there like, wow, like I'm just listening to everything he has to say, because it's like exactly that. Like property is all about like networking, and networking sounds like such a big fancy word, like, oh my gosh, like networking and speaking to people. It's quite literally just speaking to other people. And the amazing thing about property deal sourcing, I actually have a question for you, 2 of them. I always have 2 questions for you, but like for these specific deals, did you have to even leave the house to do so? Like, did you have to?
No, not at all. Funny enough, as I stated earlier in this interview, I was in Manchester, so I studied in Manchester, and the deal I closed was in London.
Wow.
And at no point did I visit London, did I come down. I didn't even meet my investor face to face or the landlord. It was all done literally from my accommodation room. And it was just a process of calling the agent, staying in touch with them, speaking to the investor. Are you happy with this? Do these pictures make sense for you? Back to the agent. Do you have a video of the property?
Yeah.
Send it back to the investor. Are you happy with this? Do you like the spec? The numbers make sense? You happy? Let's go in for a viewing.
Literally, guys, quite literally, like, this is the only property method that can be done completely remotely, as in, like, quite literally from your university room, from your house, from wherever. For me, even sometimes when I'm abroad in Dubai, you can close deals. Why? Because again, you are like a personal shopper in the property space. Like, you are finding properties for other people. They are going to the houses, they're seeing if they like it, if it works for them. You're literally just the person doing the basic communication. You're the introducer, and as a result of them moving forward on that deal, you get paid anywhere between £1,000 to £6,000, typically 3,000, but in Gabriel's case, £3,500 per deal, which is absolutely insane, guys. And like, if you want to learn how to do this, please make sure that you message me, Tinu the CEO, on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. But I wanted to ask you, like, how had the mentorship program that we did together, like, how did that further your journey? And tell us a little bit about the PPC, which is the Pillars Property Community, and like how that helped on your property journey as well.
Yeah, so I touched on it a little bit before, and what I was really getting myself into was a pre-established community, a place where deal sources, potential investors, a supportive mentor can just back everything. So what you need to understand is maybe you're at a position where you know a lot in theory. You've researched a lot, you've got a lot of information, you kind of have an idea of what your next steps are, but you don't really know where to go. This is the place. And why do I say this? Not just because I've been through it, but because I can understand what you're feeling, because I was there before. I know a lot, but don't know exactly where to go. This is the place to start, and from here you will see an influx of deals coming in and out, investors, requirements. It will be a place where you can start, build your skills, and eventually be able to close things completely by yourself.
Amazing stuff. And that's one thing that I really pride myself on for all of my students is I don't want to tell you how to get into property. I want to show you how, and also provide you with the resources in order to do so. So the PPC is the Pillars Property Community that Gabriel touched on, which is a community where there are investors in there. So there are actually some people who are like, actually, I'd like to take on a deal. Please, can you let me know more information? There are also deal sources in there. So someone might say there's a method called co-sourcing, by the way, which we briefly touched on, but it means one person has the deal, the other person has the client, and you'll split the £3,000 fee together. Each of you get 1.5k each for literally just liaising together and building this thing in partnership. And that's one massive thing within property, which is partnership, community, networking, in order to actually get things going and get the deals across the line, which is so important because, of course, making an extra stream of income in property, like the fact that this is the one and only method you can do remotely. Did you actually have to pay any of your own money towards the house itself, towards rent, deposits, mortgages?
No, not at all. Completely paid off by the investor. Even the agent had their own fee. I forgot to mention, I think their fee was about 350, maybe to 500. That didn't even come out of my sourcing fee. The investor paid it off. So not a single dime of my money went to anything to do with the property.
Amazing, guys. Again, the only property method that you don't have to pay any rent, bills, mortgage, or deposit. For those of you guys that work a full-time 9 to 5, or those of you who might be doing this alongside studies, like, this is the one and only method that you don't need tens and thousands of pounds saved up in order to get in. The only thing that you need is obviously your compliance. And of course, if you do want to join the program, there is a fee for that too, but it's literally just learning how to use the skills you've already got. Like, I had lots of transferable skills before getting into property. I was always the fastest reply. I don't know about you guys, but coming from an African home, like, if your parents text you and you've not responded until the day after, like, before you know it, there'll be a search warrant for your name, because it's like, what are you talking about that you just haven't replied, right? So I learned how to be quick and agile with my responses, meaning that when investors messaged me, when landlords had let me know, hey, I've got a property, I was always the fastest person involved, which meant that I was able to close as many deals. Tell us a little bit about, because I think you've closed like a couple of deals. There was another one that you did that you was telling me about. That was that a co-source, or are both of them your full deals?
No, that one was a co-source.
Tell us about that one.
So the deal straight after afterwards was a co-source. The fee was the same.
3,500, guys. He's audacious with it.
Again, because I had the investor this time. And funny enough, the friend I mentioned at the very start was the person who had the deal.
No.
So
cute.
it's amazing. It's like a full circle moment. He's closed, I've closed, we've built up, and now it's no longer Gabriel just, hey, can you help me out? It's, do you have a deal? Are you ready?
Wow.
Let's close. And so we went over on the deal. We liaised with the investor. We spoke with the landlord. We just tried to get things up and aboard. When things seemingly got to the end, we closed out, fee split there in the middle, and yeah, it was amazing.
Oh, wow.
The co-sourcing works.
It works. And I love that though, because it's like, obviously being a university student, when I first started out, like there's this thing called Student Finance England, which basically the government gives you just chicken change to survive off. And I remember literally hearing what you just said reminded me of my own journey where I was in my uni room and I got paid a 3k fee and I split it. So 1.5. And like, let's be honest, like as a uni student, like that's a lot of money.
Yes.
It's a lot of money. I remember like I'm feeling like a big boy. Like I felt big, y'all. Like I had money for real. And like this goes for any profession as well. Like imagine like you're working a full-time 9 to 5 and then you just make an extra 3.5k and then another extra 3.5 and then another and another. And it's like, this one thing I do say is that you just need 3 good clients. You just need 3 who are happy to take on regular deals, because let's just say all 3 of them are happy at the 3.5k. You find them each a deal a month, 3.5 multiplied by 3. You guys can actually really do the serious maths there. That's well over £10,000 extra stream of income per month, which is absolutely insane. Like guys, this is exciting. Like you need to get into property. So my final question for you, I've got 2 questions, I always do, is if someone was looking to learn property, like what advice would you give them? And then my final question is, where can people find you? So if you're an investor watching and you're actually looking for a deal sourcing service, you're looking for someone who can actually help you find deals, would you let us know how they can contact you? I'll actually add it into the link in the bio of this video as well, but also kind of like what the areas are that you cover or whether you're national.
So to answer the first question, there was this piece of advice that I heard, and I might paraphrase this incorrectly.
Go for it.
But it was, you can either pay for your learning or you can pay for your mistakes. One way or another, you're going to pay for something. that was the biggest catch for me. It's like, one way or another, I'm going to pay for something. I can risk making my own mistakes, or I can play it safe, understand that I probably don't want to waste and lose as much upfront when I'm starting out.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to pay for learning. I'm going to pay for education. I'm going to pay for a system. I'm going to pay for a community.
Yeah.
It's not just, hey, I found this person online and you're paying for so much more, if that makes sense.
Perfect.
And to answer the second question, how can you find me? I currently am not on socials. So I liaise with a lot of people. I know the benefit of putting yourself out there. And so you should be able to find me soon on either Instagram or TikTok at Gabriel_Kadiri. That is GABRIEL_KADIRI. We'll keep it posted.
Perfect.
If that somehow changes.
Perfect.
Tina's got you guys.
Perfect.
So yeah.
Fantastic stuff. Well, thank you so much for coming.
I forgot.
You have something else. Go ahead.
You asked me as well, where do I kind of source?
Yes.
We're national.
National,
We're
guys.
national.
So if you are a client and you are looking for a deal sourcer, what I will do is, if you want to drop me a message, I can give you, maybe if you're happy for your email to be given for them to reach out. National. So if you are looking for an Airbnb property anywhere in the UK, Gabriel is more than happy to partner with you and help you get that first deal across the line. And it's such a rewarding experience too, because like he's just using his skills of research, connecting the dots. He's got so many connections in the property space, obviously building up within it. So for you as an investor, it's a smoother process in terms of, you know, getting your deals across the line. And one thing I gave you, which I really love, is each mentee that sells a deal. We're currently filming this while I'm actually doing my sourcing challenge again. Gabriel is definitely doing fantastically. Tell us a tiny little bit about the gift.
Yes, so there's a sourcing challenge. I don't know if Tina's really touched on it, but let's just say we're one step closer to the end.
Wow.
So the gift was an amazing Dubai Oud perfume. It smells amazing. It's lovely. It's added to my collection at this minute. So
perfect.
It's lovely.
Oh.
And yeah, For the sources out there that are in the group chat, let's keep going, guys.
Yeah.
Let's move it forward.
Load it. Guys, honestly, it has been so lovely making this video for you. If you do want to learn how to get into property deal sourcing completely remotely, and you don't, again, have to have tens of thousands of pounds saved up to do so, please DM me the word learn on Tinu the CEO on Instagram, preferably Instagram, because I can send y'all a voice note about how you can get started. Or if it's on YouTube or wherever else, I'll probably provide some kind of link for you to contact me. But this has been Tinu and Gabriel talking to you guys all about how you can get started, and I cannot wait for your property journey to begin.